Hey guys, welcome to Devops School. Today we are going to learn about Splunk. Splunk is a tool which is used for monitoring, searching, analyzing and visualizing the machine generated data in real time. It can monitor and read different type of log files and stores data as events in indexers. This tool allows you to visualize data in various forms of dashboards. In short, we can say Splunk makes machine data accessible, usable and valuable for everyone.
But before that, let me ask you a few things. Are you dreaming of a career with higher pay and more responsibilities? Or are you ready to take your skills to the next level this year? Then start investing in Devops School certification level courses which will help you to emerge skills for a wide range of entry-level roles and as well as higher potential future positions. But with thousands of courses online and in classroom worldwide, finding the right one for your career goals can be difficult. You can consider our courses like Agile Developer, Agile QA, DevOps Certified Professionals, Site Reliability Engineering, DevSecOps, and Masters in DevOps Engineering, where you will have access to well-structured, easy-to-follow course content that has been developed and will be delivered by industry professionals. You can join on our training programs globally through online platforms, and if you are looking for classroom workshops, then we have regular sessions available in Bangalore, Hyderabad, Chennai, Delhi NCR, Mumbai and in Pune. Simply compare our many courses, find the one that suits your style and schedule best and start today.
Now, there are multiple configuration files. So if I move on to the next, this is the directory structure of Splunk. As I already told you, be it Linux, be it Windows, be it Mac OS, the directory structure will be same. So here is a brief overview. So in etc, we have system, default and local folder apps. There are apps folder, Unix and search app. Users are there, different kind of users are there. So you see default and local, it is repeating. Default, local, default, local. So whatever is in this cream color, whatever is in cream color or light yellow, you can say it is out of the box. What I mean by out of the box is when you download and install Splunk, there are certain set of configuration files that come with it. This is the one. In the default section, you will see all the by default configuration file. And in local folders, if you see here the local part here in gray color, it is customized one. Whatever you are doing, whatever custom changes you are making, it is saved in the custom directory. Okay. So if I want to give you a brief overview here, let me open the file. etc system. I am in default directory. Multiple configuration files are there. Let's take an example of props.conf. Props is here. And if I go back into the local folder, props is also there. Same file is there, but the difference is in default folder, all the default settings are there. Okay. And if you see here, what is the basic difference? So you focus here on this part here. That's the main thing. Default shipped with Splunk or the app. Overwritten on update. Whenever you are making any customized changes, you should make in the local directory, not the default one. Reason being, whenever you upgrade your Splunk, okay, you have to upgrade your Splunk whenever vulnerabilities came or whenever there is a latest version. Do not put your changes in the default folder. Always make in the local folder because this is preserved. Okay, so keep this thing in mind. And one more thing, apart from this, there are multiple configuration file. If you are stuck anywhere, so Mohammed Saif and Pat, if you are stuck anywhere, don't worry about it. We have a website called, for example, let me type inputs.com. If you are stuck anywhere, you don't know the exact meaning of what is the parameter inside it. So if I open one of the configuration file, for example, commands, let me open it. Multiple things are written. If you are stuck anywhere, what a particular parameter means, you can come to this website, docs.splunk.com documentation. Okay, here is the version also. If you are running an older version, you can also select that. So here I can see input.conf, a detailed overview, a detailed information is given here about each and every stanza. You can come here, you can scroll through it, see a very big file. Whatever stanzas are possible, whatever is there, it is being written here. You don't have to worry about it. You will never be stuck in Splunk. Okay, you will easily find your answers. Similarly, there are multiple configuration files, all are listed here. You can select them and you can read through them if you want.
Okay.
Yeah. Now this one is the most crucial part, index time versus search time. So in the beginning, when I was in the learning phase, I remain confused here for around 8 to 9 months. I did the official training. The trainer was, I think, might not be able to explain me properly. but you both are lucky. I have you, so you will find it easy. Yeah. So index time, it's written as global context, and search time is written as app user context. So I give you both 1 minute to just read this slide, then I'll explain you, both of you. 1 minute for both of you. Please read it through it. Okay, time's up. So simple thing, what is happening here is what this slide is telling you is basically index time is a global context. What I mean by index time, when the data is coming into the indexer and when it is indexing. Search time, when a person is searching the data, when you are on the searcher and searching the data. This is the both times. Now search time, it is shown here as app or user context. When you are searching something, probably you will be inside an app and you will be logged in as a user. That's why it is written as this app or user context. Index time, when you are indexing the data, it is a global context. It is not restricted by a user or an app. Okay, there are configuration files, props.conf and transforms.conf that we'll see later. So that will be utilized in that. That's why it is a global context. Okay, so here he has also same example is given global context or network input to collect syslog data. App user context marries private report in the search app. So what he is trying to explain here is there are certain set of configuration file that is invoked when you are indexing the data. There are certain set of configuration file that are invoked when you are searching the data, indexing the data. Sorry. Here you can see the index time precedence. What I mean by precedence is what is followed first. So you see here when the data is indexed. So you see number one is local directory, system local directory. Whatever is present here, Splunk is going to read that first, the local directory, system local directory. Then if there is something in app specific directory, search local is having the, again, second ISP. Then third. So you see here, default is having a very lowest priority. That's the second reason. You don't have to put anything in the default directory. Again, repeating, difference between default and local is preserved when you upgrade it, it not get changed. But default, whatever you are putting there, it will get changed. So when you upgrade a version, all the latest file that is coming with the Splunk, they will replace that. Okay, that's why this default will be replaced with the latest file, but local will remain as it is. Okay, so here first reason is this, second reason is this is having a highest precedence. So whenever you are making any props.conf, input.conf, put it in the local directory, your customized one. Okay, so yeah, moving on into the search time precedence order. This is not used much, but for your reference only. For example, here example is written user Mary working in the Unix app context. She has open, for example, if I open my Splunk, sorry, if I open my Splunk here, I am working in, for example, search and reporting app. I am logged in as the user admin. Okay, here. So now he's trying to say whenever you are searching something, user Mary, whatever user you are logged in inside an app, it is having highest precedence. Then any configuration file in which you are logged in, it is having highest precedence. Then similarly, system local and default are having the precedence. When you are searching the data, certain set of configuration files that are invoked. When you are indexing the data, certain set of configuration files that are invoked. That is the main agenda here. Is it clear to both of you? Any kind of doubt?
Can you just go through that again? I was kind of confused. I think you were too fast.
You will remain confused here. This is a very different concept. So here what is happening when I'm indexing the data, a certain set of configuration files are invoked. For example, here system local is having the highest priority. When you are making any configuration changes, input.conf, output.conf, transforms.conf, props.conf, wherever you are making any custom changes, it will always be in the system local directory. Okay, that's the main agenda here. Rest all you can ignore. But when you are doing a search time, you are logged in as a user onto the Splunk and you are inside an app basically. So that user, whatever configuration files are there. So if you are working in Splunk, I think both Mohammed and Pat, you have already worked there. So you are making customized tags, you are making customized reports. All these configurations are getting saved in the local directory, your user's local directory. That will be invoked first, whatever configurations are there. You are logged in there, your configuration will be shown to you. Your saved reports will be shown to you. That's what it is trying to mean here. Yeah. Is it clear now, both of you?
Yeah.
Not to worry about. Yeah. Well, this is a B tool, so we'll talk about B tool later. So don't worry about it. When we are doing the practical showcase you the B tool. Reloading configuration files after an edit. So basically, what he's trying to say, whenever you are making any kind of changes in the configuration file, for example, props.conf, transforms.conf, there are multiple configuration files. Whenever you are making any kind of changes, Splunk will not read it by default. Okay, Splunk will not be able to read it. For reading a configuration file, you have to restart your Splunk. Keep this in mind. Okay, or whenever you are making any major changes, automatically in the top messages tab, a restart option will appear like this here. It will automatically come here that you need a restart. Okay. Yeah. So here it's written, changes made by editing.conf files are not automatically detected. There is a soft restart also. Soft restart, you can say soft reload. So if you see here, this is the link to force reload. This is the link. You can just go through it. Just put this debug/refresh. Reload is many of the configuration file input.conf, but not all. There is no specific list given what all configuration files will be reloaded, but it is soft reload, so it will work in some time. Okay. So if I want to do it, I will do it for you here. It's very easy. Debug/refresh. Here. It's reloaded. Just that. Okay. Yeah, so restart option is already, you guys, I already told you the restart option. Now coming to the indexes part. This is done some basic configuration files. We know about now the configuration files, what all are there. When we go through the course, we'll better understand what all different kinds of configuration files are. Now coming to the topic of indexes. So Pat, a question to you. What is the difference between an indexer and an indexes? Any idea, wild guesses? You can go ahead, please.
Can you ask that again?
Like Pat, I think you are not giving full for 100%. You are doing something.
No, I'm someone walked in the room, so yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. So
what was the difference between
between an indexer and an index?
Okay, so
there are two things: index and an indexer. Yeah.
The indexer is a component of the three Splunk components, and it stores the data and processes the data. Then the indexes are the components inside of an indexer.
Yes, Pat, you are right. Absolutely right. Okay, so let's go through it. What is an indexes? So indexer is a component in Splunk like search head, indexer, and the forwarder. And an index is a virtual compartment. You can say virtualized compartment inside an indexer. Okay, so if I want to visualize for both of you, paint here. This complete thing is called as an indexer. For example, this is a web server. On top of it, I installed a Splunk enterprise application. This will be working as an indexer. Now inside it, I can make multiple virtual compartments. They are called as indexes. Okay. For example, I can make this security index. I can make this web index and store the data. Same thing is mentioned here. And all of the data, where is all the data stored on Splunk, in which directory? Okay, so the answer here is Splunk warlib. Splunk warlib. Splunk. Here all the indexes you will be seeing. Whatever indexes are there, you will be able to see.
Library. Okay.
Your voice is breaking, Pat.
Yeah, no, I was just saying that it's the Splunk library. So I'm trying to
Yeah,
remember.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Please remember. Please remember. This will be asked in interview. Okay, anybody can ask it. Hey, how was your interview? Did you went through it or is it pending?
The third interview, I'm waiting on it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. Pre-configured indexes. Now inside Splunk, inside Indexer, there are some pre-configured indexes. They are pre-written. They are pre-installed. You can say they comes with the application. For example, here you can see underscore internal, underscore audit, underscore internal will be storing all the indexes, all the data of the Splunk, whatever internal data is there, it will be stored in the internal indexes.
To get our channel membership, click onto the join button, select the 399 plan, and grow your skills immensely.
Yeah. So for example, underscore internals, Splunk is storing huge amount of log in itself. And then underscore audit, you can see. Underscore audit, we are doing login attempts on Splunk, login, logout. All this is storing in the underscore audit index. Similarly, underscore introspection, underscore fish bucket summary, and this is the main index. This is the default index. So whenever you are getting data from a universal forwarder, if you didn't define an index on in which index to go, then it will automatically go into the main index. So key takeaway from this slide is whatever starting with an underscore is an internal index. Okay. um, Metrics indexing, so I also don't know about this much. I haven't used it. Basically, indexes are of two type: event based index and metrics index. Till now in my 6 years I have already only worked on event based index. I have not worked on metrics index, so yeah, you can skip this part. Why create index? Now this is the question: why we are creating index? Why can't we have a single index inside an indexer? So the answer here is we want to control the access. For example, I have a web team and a security team. I created separate to index, web index to store the web data, security index to store the security log. Now based on index, I can control the access. Security team can have access to both the component, and the web team can have access only to the web index. Okay. Now my question to you, Pat, again, what all other um, reasons of getting an index or an advantage of creating separate index? Any wild guesses?
It makes it easier, like when data is separated in different, according to.
Bullets. Pat, give me bullets.
Okay. Yeah. So for easy searches.
Easy searches, performance, great performance. You can say
Yeah.
performance enhancement. Okay, first point. Anything else that is coming to your mind apart from this?
Um,
Okay, no issues, no issues.
yeah.
Now, the second thing is that is most important is the retention policy. We talked in the beginning that Splunk
Okay.
can store the data based on the retention policy also. So, if according to my management, senior management, if they want the web events to be stored for 6 months and then delete it, I can do it. If the senior management wants security events to be stored for 12 months and then archive it, not delete it, archive it, this can also be done. So I can set the retention policy based on indexes as well. Okay, that's the main reason.
Okay.
Now, okay, we talked about indexer, we talk about indexes. Now, what's inside an index? Inside index, we have buckets, buckets holding the data. Okay, so here it is showing you an diagram here at the right side. Default DB is the main index. Okay, its name is main index, but directory is default DB. Okay, so main index, inside default DB, what we have? We have cold DB, DB, thought DB. Cold DB means cold bucket, hot DB means hot and warm bucket. This is these buckets have one more thing. The retention policy here, it's also written. Buckets have a maximum data size and time span. Either data size or time span you can set. So inside index we have different buckets. So if I open this one, default DB for you, DB here. See, DB, cold DB, DB. .db. In these buckets are there. Now we'll be seeing how this bucket system is working inside Splunk. Data flow through an index. So when data come to the indexer from the universal forwarder, the input stage, data is coming to the indexer. Once the data is parsed by the parser, then it gets stored. During storage, what happened? The data first gets stored in the hot bucket. It's written newest bucket open for write and readable also. As soon as the data is coming in, it is getting stored in the hot bucket. It is writable as well as readable. What I mean by readable here is when I'm searching for data, when I'm on the search head, when I'm searching the real-time data or past 1 minute data, Splunk is going into this bucket and searching the data. Okay, hot bucket, newest bucket, open for write and readable. Second bucket is warm bucket. Recent data buckets are closed and read only. So after some time, the hot buckets are moved to warm. And then the cold bucket. Oldest data still in the index, read only. This is the oldest data. After that, see, hot, warm, cold, inside the indexer. You can search it through the search query. After that, the default action of Splunk is to delete the data. If you don't want to delete the data, you have to specifically tell while index creation that you have to archive the data. If you tell him that you have to archive the data, Splunk will archive the data. This is how the data flows inside an index. Seth, do you have an idea about what is archive?
No. I just think that it's data flow.
Okay.
That's yeah.
Okay. So what do we mean by? So what we mean by? So what we mean by archive is basically um, how can I say? Archive means data storage. Just that we are storing the data separately. That's what an archive is for long duration. When we are storing the data, so regular data is stored on your computer. For longer storage, we archive the data. We store it separately. That's what we call as archive. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Now, one more question to Pat and Mohammed Saif. Why these different buckets are created? Why not create a single bucket and store all the data there? Any idea? Both of you, anyone can answer.
My guess would be since it's time based, they just want to like I could look at it as a way of being organized so that the oldest data is put in a certain way. You know, the earliest
Absolutely
data,
right. Absolutely right.
that's data that you might want to look through and pay more attention than the one that you've already searched through or its order.
Right. Absolutely right. Mohammed Saif, any idea what it is basically? Any idea why?
I'm with Pat. She said right.
Yeah. Okay. Absolutely right. We'll dig deeper into that. Not an issue. Now let's talk about hot bucket. What they are. After data is read and passed, it goes through the license meter and the resultant event is returned into a hot bucket. So let me explain you again. I think I explained the morning shift people. 1 second. Yep. Data is coming in. Data goes through the parsing. After parsing, license meter is there and then it is indexed. Okay. One more thing. We talked about licensing part here. Licensing is not about storage. It is the data coming through the parsing pipeline. That's what it is basically. Yeah. Moving to the part hot bucket. So after data is read and passed, it goes through the license meter. After that, the resultant event is written into a hot bucket. When now we understood okay what a hot bucket is. Now how the data inside the hot bucket roll over to warm bucket. So when hot buckets reach their maximum size there, when they reach their maximum size or a time span, for example 2 days, 3 days, they are closed and converted to warm status. This is the first case, normal case. Apart from this, what all other are the ways when it get converted into warm is hot bucket also roll to warm automatically when the indexer is restarted. Whenever you are restarting the indexer, then also the hot buckets roll over to warm. Or the next stage is 24 hours with no events written. When no events are coming from the universal forwarder for the past 24 hours in the indexer, then also the hot bucket will be rolled over to warm. Now, hot and warm buckets are stored in the DB directory for the index. So, DB directory. I already showed you, just I'm showcasing you again. Or lib splunk default DB. Here it is. Here it is. All the buckets are there. Okay. One more thing here. Hot buckets are renamed when rolled to warm. Bucket now naming convention is coming into the picture. We'll see that. Warm and cold bucket. So warm bucket names identify the time range of events contained in that bucket. So when they are rolling over from hot to warm, a name is given to them with a timestamp here. When a warm bucket rolls to cold, the entire bucket is moved. Okay. At search time, Splunk scans the time range on bucket name to determine whether or not to open the bucket and search its data. So here you can see timestamp is given to the buckets. So when you are searching the data, when we are searching the data, we put a particular timestamp here. For example, let's speak. Oh, the list. When I'm searching the data, I'm putting a timestamp here. So Splunk will go into that particular index. So for example, I was searching index is equal to ABC, and whatever my query is, I put a timestamp or for example last 7 days. Splunk will go to the index. Inside the index, Splunk will reach there inside a particular index, and before opening any of the file, it will check for the timestamp. If the timestamp is falling in that range, it will open the bucket. So as Pat already told you that it is increasing my performance, search performance. Okay. Now clear to both of you? Can you move next slide?
Yes, yes.
Okay, Pat?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Okay, before moving on, now question to both of you. Last question, guys. Now tell me, since you said yes, yes, are you able to understand this timestamp here? He's showing you the timestamp, how this thing, third point.
Yeah. So what's the question?
The question is, are you able to understand
Yes,
it?
yes, yes, yes.
How? What is the timestamp here? What is the youngest element in the bucket and the oldest element in the bucket? What is the timestamp there? Can you decode it or tell me?
Then I mean, of course, it's saying the youngest. The first one is the earliest time. But
What is the
the
time?
numbers you didn't
Warm
explain what
bucket.
the numbers
The
would
youngest
exactly.
one is warm, and the
No,
oldest
no, no.
one
Warm
is
bucket is
cold.
there, but no, 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 no. So it is talking about this thing here inside the bucket. These buckets are getting a timestamp. Splunk is reaching here and opening a bucket. If that falls under the timestamp, whatever I'm selecting here, it will open that bucket only. But what I'm asking is, how Splunk is able to identify? You are not able to identify what is the timestamp here. The time range will be there. For example, the latest event came at 8:05 and the bucket was closed on 9:05. Are you able to identify it, the timing here from this?
You look
That's my
through
question.
the range. It will be within that
No, no,
range.
no, no, no. It's very easy. Here the timestamp is written in Epoch format. What I mean by Epoch format is a Unix timestamp. Splunk is using Unix timestamp. So if you want to see exactly what it is, Epoch time to human readable time. Epoch time is used by Linux machine. If you convert it, this will come like this. You will get the exact date and timestamp. Okay, this you will get the exact timestamp between what time frame this data bucket is containing. Clear to you, Saf and Pat? Now,
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Freezing data expiration. The oldest bucket is deleted from an index when the index maximum size is reached. The bucket's age exceeds the retention time limit. Okay. Splunk will never exceed the maximum overall size of an index. So see, this is the important point here in this slide. Splunk will never exceed the maximum overall size of an index. Buckets may be deleted if they have not reached the time limit. What I mean by this here is, if you have created an index, okay, inside it you have created an index. So we are talking about this. Okay, an index is there. You set a limit of, for example, 10 MB for this index. Now data is coming in from the forwarder into it. Okay, data is coming in from the forwarder. Now due to XYZ reason, you assume that this 10 MB will be efficient for 30 days. Now due to XYZ reason, huge amount, something happened at the forwarder, and it is some misconfiguration was there, and it is sending huge amount of data now. Now this 10 MB is full. This 10 MB is full. Now will Splunk stop indexing the data that is coming in, because we have already set the size of the index as 10 MB. So if I want to show you how it looks like, is basically when creating an index. So here is the indexes. Okay, let me open it. When you are creating a new index, you are setting a size here. See this one, we are talking about this one. I've set here 10 MB. Okay, size of this index is 10 MB. Now what this guy in this slide is trying to tell you, whatever be the maximum size, Splunk will not stop indexing the data. This will not happen, it will go on. Splunk will keep indexing the data, but what Splunk will do, there are multiple buckets here. Splunk will start deleting the oldest bucket. They will be deleted, and making space for the new data to store. That's what it is trying to say. Okay, so that's the main thing here. Now, second thing is frozen bucket. This is called as frozen bucket or archive. Data in archive is outside of the Splunk. It can also be bring back into the Splunk for searches. For example, your manager came to you, Pat, and she told you that, Pat, I want a dashboard of the past 1 year data. And you say to him, sir, in Splunk we are storing data for 3 months only, and rest all data is going in the archive. It is stored on a separate storage. So now you are in dilemma what to do. So the answer here is, the frozen data can be brought back into the Splunk with the help of thought bucket. Okay, with the help of thought bucket. Okay, that's
Okay.
what it is. So yeah, so we'll talk about thought bucket in detail, so don't worry about it. Okay, before going on, there was one more reason why these different indexes are there. There is one more reason. First reason is faster searches. Second reason is costing. So guys, whole business and everything is running on cost, running on money. Every business is running on money. They want to save cost. Here, why there are separate different indexes? So to save cost, simply, so just giving you an overview, here it is recommended hot and warm buckets or on SSDs, and cold bucket can be on NAS or HDDs. So just giving you an overview, SSDs are called as solid state drive. They are using capacitor and all, and they are the fastest and expensive. And you if you buy a new laptop, so most of the laptops nowadays are coming in SSDs. Their hard disk is SSD. It is very fast, pretty fast. Second thing is HDD, hard disk drive. That the old driver, if you have seen the example, there is a platter, circular ring, and there is a reader. So that is HDDs. They are very slow as compared to SSDs. Then there come as NAS and SAN storage. So they are very big storage for big organizations. SAN and NAS, they are a bit slower. I'm telling you in order. Fastest is SSDs, and cost is also decreasing. SSD is fastest and expensive. HDD is cheaper than SSD and slow than SSDs. Then come SAN and NAS, and then come tape drives. So they are the oldest disk, large disk where we archive the data. They are called as tape drive. So here for storing different kind of data, we are using different set of hard disks for saving the cost. Hot and warm buckets are on SSDs. Reason being, huge amount of data is coming into the indexer. It is writing in continuously, and also searched is there. It is reading the data continuously. So it needs a fast disk where he can read and write simultaneously. Cold buckets. So basically, they are the oldest data. Oldest data are rarely searched, or you can say rarely it will be searched by your organization. According to a survey, so there was a survey I was reading on Splunk website. Uh, Company needs only maximum 14 or 15 days of data for creating any kind of report and something. The oldest data is rarely touched. Okay. After the cold bucket, you can archive it on tape drive separately if you want. So this is the architecture. Okay, that's how the cost is saved. Clear to both of you?
Yep.
Yes, yes.
Mhm.
Okay. Thanks. Now the second thing is, now I want both of you to assume yourself as a solution architect. Solution architect basically design the solution of this Splunk and how everything will be deployed. Okay, now this is the main slide here. So what we are doing, first of all, we are talking about the what is the recommendation of hard disk when you are installing a production environment Splunk, when you are going as the main person, lead person who is asking or telling the team how much hardware I required, how much hard disk is required. That's the slide right now. So first of all, you have to understand how Splunk is working, how this storage is working here. The first line is written: Splunk compresses the event raw data as it is indexed. So as soon as the data is coming in, Splunk is compressing the data. Okay, so we didn't talk about it yet, but we are talking about it now. Here, data is coming in from the forwarder. It is getting passed. It is going through the license meter, and then compression is also happening. Compression. Okay, this is how the thing is working in reality. So now my question to you, Pat and Saf, is, for example, 1 GB of data the forwarder is throwing. How much will be indexed? Any idea? Both of you.
It's all of it. What's the
It will
license size?
index the 1
What's
GB.
the license size?
No. License size doesn't matter, and SAF 1 GB it will not index. I told you compression is happening. We are compressing the data also. So here the compression factor is 0.5, or you can say divide by 2. Whatever is coming in, Splunk is going to index half of it. 500 MB will be stored.
Mm.
Clear?
Okay, okay.
Now, let's talk about the costing also. You are the solution architect. How much my license is consumed? How much I will
1
be charged
GB,
for?
1 GB, 1 GB will be charged.
You'll be
Yeah,
charged
absolutely right. 1 GB will be charged because,
Oh,
yeah, because it is happening before the compression.
okay. Oh, so the charge is
And
before
do something.
compression.
These Splunk guys are stealing us, stealing from us.
I see.
They are charging us more. Yeah. Yep. So that's now you are having a brief idea about Splunk. This compression and all. Now, second thing is, if you are working in a production environment that you are having a small testing environment, what you can do on a testing environment, you can have one of the instance from them. You can deploy your Splunk there. You can work as an indexer. You ask the source owner team, whoever is maintaining the devices, to forward their logs to your indexer. Once the log come into the indexer, you can easily just have an idea how much data will be coming in. So if you click on this one, you can get a brief idea. So for example, this machine might be receiving data from multiple universe of order. I just wanted to an estimate how much data is coming in per day. I can come to the monitoring console here if data was coming in, and then I can have a brief information here, indexing here, indexes and volume. There are multiple dashboards available for me. I can just check out those dashboard and I can get to know, okay, for a 1 day, how much data came. Okay, here, multiple dashboards are there. See, huge amount of information about each and every index is present here. You can have a brief idea. how much data is coming in. I'm just giving you a alternative. If you don't know exactly how much data is coming in, you can check like this. You can deploy your Splunk enterprise on a test instance and just check it. Another way, one more way is that you can see here is there is one more way in the licensing tab here. So I click on licensing. Usage report, you can click on usage report and you can just check out how much license was consumed. Here you will be seeing the today's license usage. Okay, it will show you here, or you can see the previous day wise license usage also. Chart will be there. Okay, I hope it is enough. Now the calculation part is coming into the picture. Now calculating the index storage, guys. There is a formula for getting the amount of storage. Here is the formula: daily rate into compression factor into retention period plus padding. Compression factor, I already told you, it is 0.5 or divide by 2. Padding, what I mean by padding, if I simplify the things, it is not important to you understand it or not. For example, in a telecom, in an environment where there are two machines or multiple machines, data gets transferred from one machine to another. There is a standard that 512 bytes or 512 KB kilobytes of data can be transferred in one go. It is also called as maximum transmission unit when we are transferring the data. Sometimes it happens that the data might be 300 KB. Sometimes it is 400 KB. It is not 512 KB. So the your computer will itself add some padding bit there or additional bit there. That's what padding is. Okay. So yeah. So now the question is, your manager came to you, Pat, and he told you that 5 GB per day of security data will be coming in. Every day you will be receiving 5 GB of data, and it should be searchable for 6 months. Searchable means it should be inside Splunk for 6 months. Now tell me how much hard disk is required or how much storage is required, how much storage I will configure on that device. So here you can see 5 GB per day of security data searchable for 6 months. First of all, 6 months, you have to convert it into days. So total data coming in, let's check out. 5 GB into number of days, 180 days is equal to 900 GB. Then we are dividing it by 2. It will come as 450. And we are taking an additional 50 GB as padding. So the storage is coming as 500 GB. Okay. On average, data moves to frozen in the index after 6 months. That's how thing is working here. I hope it is making sense to both of you.
Yes.
Okay, great. Adding an index. So let's see what all things are there when you are creating a new index. Settings here. Indexes tab. Here in settings indexes, you can see all the different indexes, whatever is present in your Splunk. Okay. If you want to create a new index, just click here. You can name it anything, A, B, C, X, Y, Z. There are two types of index, already told you, event and metrics. Metrics, I don't know much. Event is the one. Home path, cold path, thawed path. This is optional. This will be this only. It will by default when you create an index. So index will be created here. It will create a new directory with the name of the index, and it will inside it this folders be there automatic. But if you want to move to any other directory, you can just mention your folder. The default action for Splunk is to archive the data. Sorry, the default action of Splunk is to delete the data, as I already told you. Delete. But in case I want to archive the data, what I'll do, I'll just mention the frozen path here. For example, I'll mention /e drive. After the data moved from cold bucket, after a certain amount of time, it will be archive here. It will not delete it. But if you don't put anything, the default action is to delete. Okay. Maximum size of entire index is 500 GB. You want to specify 10 MB or 10 GB, you can specify here. The size of this index will be 10 GB. Maximum size of hot, warm, cold bucket. It is set as auto. I'll show you the slide here. Set maximum bucket size default to auto. It is 750 MB. Each bucket will be 750 MB in size. Okay. Now you see here app is there mentioned search and reporting. What it is basically, I can select any other app also. So let me showcase to you. For example, I create for index called pat. Okay, let's just save it. Now index pat will be created here. Let me go back here. Pat is it created here. Now let me check out what I wanted to show you here is pat is here. See, all the directories and everything is created. What I want to show you here is what is there in the search and reporting app folder. etc app search and reporting search here local. Now this is one of the configuration file indexes.conf. Here you will see pat created. Pat is here. Configuration is present here. Whatever you are doing, everything is getting written in a configuration file. This is one of the configuration file indexes.conf. Whatever you are creating, whatever you are saving, it is getting saved here. Clear?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. The next. Adding some raw data. So, for example, I have created an index. I can add raw data as well. So I think you both are aware. Are you aware, na? Both. This part manually uploading the data.
Yes, yes.
Part you also clear?
Yes.
Okay. So not required this one. Okay, next part, index management. Let's see it. So now we are managing the index. Now let's see what all different settings are here. You see different set. If I want to edit this index, I can edit it further. But these are grayed out, I can edit this one. Other things that are not grayed out, I can edit them. Okay. Second thing is, if I want to delete this index, I can delete it from here. I can delete this index will be deleted. Second thing is disable. If I want to disable it for some time, I don't want this index to store any data. For some time, I can disable it. Here, it is showing the type of index as event. App, in which directory the configuration file is saved. Search. Current size. So, for example, you can see here 57 MB is the current size. What is the maximum size that we saved? It is 500 MB, 500 GB. Event count. What is the number of event stored there? Earliest event. When the first event, youngest event came. What is the latest event? When the latest event came. Home path, where the home directory is. Frozen path, where the frozen directory is. That's what this is basically. Okay. Okay. Now understanding the indexes.conf, what all things are there. So, you see he is just showing you an example. For example, ITOPS created an index. Guys, this is called stanza also. Bracket, this is the name. For example, in our case, we have pat as the stanza. Okay. Maximum data size auto high volume. Size of bucket set to 10 GB. So whenever you are setting auto high volume, it is 10 GB. Whenever you are setting auto, it is 750 MB. I already told you. Or if you want to specify your own size, for example, you want a 100 MB bucket, you can specify while creation. Maximum total data size MB. This is the maximum size of the index. Okay, it is in MB, but basically it is 300 GB. That's the main thing here. So same thing is present here also. Same thing. No changes. I hope this is also clear to both of you. Okay, this is the main thing here. Indexes.conf option. So if you remember, I told you that these buckets are having a time limit also. Indexes are having a time limit also. I can set a retention policy. But when you are seeing this creation GUI, through GUI, this time limit option is not possible. you have to open the configuration file for it and add a parameter. Okay, it is not possible through the GUI. Now, how it will be possible? So these all are the different keywords that you have to add into the configuration file if you want to make some changes. For example, I want the number of hot buckets to be to set to any size. For example, 10. I can write this parameter there. Warm buckets, if I want to change, I can make it 300. I want to change the this age, the time span of this bucket. The hot buckets can be, for example, 24 hours. I can put it in seconds here. So these all are the setting, different kind of setting that you can put to control the buckets. Now, if we come here, the age, this is the main thing here, frozen time period in seconds. If I want the whole index, or for example, if I want after a certain amount of time, the data should move to the archive or delete. For example, I want the data to be stored for 6 months. After 6 months, the data automatically moves to the archive. So if I set to 6 months here, automatically the older data, when it goes beyond 6 months, automatically it will start move to the frozen bucket or the archive. I can set the time limit through this max frozen time period in seconds parameter. Maximum index size, so we already saw, we can configure it through GUI as well. So it is set here. Okay. This is clear to you, both of you guys?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Okay, then great. So this is again monitoring console. So if you want to see detailed information about any of the indexes, go there. There are a number of beautiful graphs and charts. Just check it out there.
If you have liked our Splunk session so far, please enroll for our channel membership $399 plan to get access of all the parts. Along with that, you can access our other tutorials such as Docker, Ansible, Jenkins, Terraform, Splunk, AWS, Azure, and various other DevOps related premium tutorials with our channel membership. If you would have any issues with our channel membership, you can drop an email to us at contact@devopsschool.com, or you can also unsubscribe from channel membership anytime if you don't want to continue or did not like the video. To get our channel membership, click onto the join button, select the $399 plan and grow your skills immensely.
Please be kind enough to like it, and you can comment any of your doubts and queries. We will reply to them at the earliest.
Thanks for watching.